video, I'm going to teach you guys how to start up and shut down a database, right? And the procedures for that. All right. So the first thing that you would want to do is you would want to log into your database like I showed you before. So you do SQL+/add sysdba. Right. So when you see connected to an idle instance, this basically means that the server right now, the instance, which means the memory and the background processes, are pretty much idle, meaning they're not doing anything. So basically means like they're ready for work. So all you have to do in this case is every time you see connected to an idle instance, it just basically means that the server was shut down, or the data either the server was shut down or the database was shut down the night before or in the past, right? So you just need to actually start up the database. Now to do that, there are 4 different types of data startups. There's basically startup no log. There's startup no log. Well, actually not startup no log. There's startup no mount, there's startup mounts, and then there's startup, and then there's also what we call the startup force, right? So there are 4 different ways, right? So now let's go through and start up our database regularly. Now how would we do that? We just do what? Startup. All right, so as you can see, our database is opened. So now let us shut down our database. To shut down our database, we have 4 different options. We have shutdown normal, shutdown transactional, shutdown immediate, and shutdown abort. Right? With shutdown normal, the way that works is it basically the database will not shut down until the last user has actually logged off from the database. All right, so that's shutdown normal. Shutdown transactional, the database will only shut down when the last transaction is completed, right? Which means you have your cursor back for that user. Shutdown immediate is what we call a clean or sane shutdown, right? So basically it's going to shut down the database instantly. But before it does that, it's going to sync all the files together. So all the files that have not been saved is going to be rolled back, and all the files that have been saved but haven't been synced to the data files will be synced to the data files before it actually shuts down. But it's going to log off everybody immediately and instantly. Now shutdown abort is pretty abrupt. So that basically means that it's going to shut down everybody immediately, but it's not going to sync anything at all. So once you use shutdown abort, you're going to need, that's the only shutdown procedure that needs your database to be recovered. And to do that, once you log back in after you've done the shutdown abort, when you try to start up your database, to resync everything and to recover your database, you just simply need to type startup, right? And SMON will take care of the rest of that, right? So now let's shut down our database using shutdown immediate. And at work, this is the one that you're going to use the most. It's going to be shutdown immediate. All right. So that's how you do that. Now let's do startup. Let's start up our database, but let's not mount it and let's not open it. Let's leave it at the no mount state. So how would I do that? I would do startup no mount. So as you can see, our database is what? In no mount mode. If we want to see what mode we're in right now, we'll just do what? Select open mode from $v$ database. See, our database is not mounted. It tells us that. Okay. All right. So now, if I wanted to do what? Start up our database using mount. Let's shut it down again. So now if I wanted to mount my database, I would do what? Startup mount. So now this is going to put it in no mount mode and in mount mode at the same time. All right. Very good. So now, if I wanted to do what? Just open my database. Obviously, I'll do what? Startup. But let's do that again. So let's shut down our database. In order for us to open our database, we just simply need to do startup, as we did earlier before, right? And that opens our database for customers to use it. So now the next thing that we're going to do actually is, how do you actually navigate from the no mount stage to the mount stage? Okay, so what we're going to do again is we're just going to type host clear. So I want to go from no mount to mount. So I'm going to do startup, no mount. Okay, as you can see right now we're in no mount stage. So I want to go from no mount stage to what? The mount stage. So I'll do what? Alter database mount. As you can see, our database is mounted. And if I want to go from the mount stage to the open stage, I'll simply do what? Alter database, can spell today, open. And as you can see, our database is open. So if I do select open mode from $, database, can't spell today, so I do select open mode from $, database. As you can see, our database is now in what? Read-write mode, which is open. All right. So this is how you shut down your database, and this is also how you start up your database. Now, what is startup force? To start up force is a combination of shutting down immediate and opening up your database. That's what it means. It means to bounce your database. So to do that, we just simply type what? Startup space force. So this is going to shut down our database, and then it's going to open our database all in one command. See that? So now our database is now in what? Let's see if it's in open mode. As you can see, it's in open mode. So let's shut down our database normal. Let's see how long that takes. All right. So now we're going to do SQL Plus /sysdba. As you can see, we can't do SQL Plus inside of SQL Plus, right? So we're going to do connect /add sysdba. Right? See, we're connected to an idle instance. So let me clear the screen again. So now let's start up our database. Let's start up a database to regular. Let's just open our database up. Now this time we're going to do shutdown transactional. So now let's do shutdown transactional. These are shutdown commands that you're rarely going to use at work. But since that we're just for tutorial purposes, I have to show you how to do it. So now from our database being shut down, let's just start it up normally. And as you can see, our database is open. If we wanted to check the name of our database, select name from $, database. Right, you can see our database name is prod. And as you can see, our database is in read-write, which is in open mode. All right, so this is how you shut down and start up your database. All right, so I'll see you in the next video. Talk to you soon.